Good evening and welcome to another edition of Hgp Sport. For today, I'm Jadon Samuels. Thanks for joining us. Only 13 overs were possible as rain prevented any possibility of play in the first one-day international between West Indies and India at Providence. Samuel Gillis was there.
The match itself began 90 minutes after the scheduled time, a delay forced by morning showers. When play started though, following Virat Kohli's decision to field first, the sun was bathing upon the half-filled Providence Stadium. But with rain scheduled towards the afternoon, it was not long before the first interruption happened. In that period, Chris Gayle played his slowest ever ODI innings with a minimum 25 balls, playing his 298th game, just one short of West Indies record holder Brian Charles Lara. Gayle needed 13 runs to become the team's highest ever ODI run getter. But swinging conditions at the top meant he was either splicing the ball or missing it completely, scoring only 4 singles in 31 deliveries. While at the opposite end, Lewis Rampage was on. There was hope for the home fans that Gayle would finally break free, but that wasn't to happen as Gayle tried to take on Kuldeep's full-pitch stock delivery and tried to put it over the leg side, only to inside edge it onto the stumps. Even Lewis ensured that there was something for the home fans to cheer, blitzing an unbeaten 40 off of 36 balls that included 3 shovel pull over deep mid-wicket. The rain then returned overs later, and it relented enough for the umpires to call the game off at 3:12 p.m. local time. Wet patches on the field earlier in the day had delayed the game's restart, and in anticipation of the ground not being ready by 4 p.m. the cutoff time for a 20-over a-side shootout, the umpires called off the match. For Hgp Sport, I am Samuel Gillis.
In athletics news, Guyana can compete with the rest of the world and be successful. However, much more support is needed in the preparation of athletes, especially in overseas engagements. Another call is for a sport policy that covers the overall well-being of all athletes. We will hear more in this report. As local sports continue its work in putting Guyana on the world stage, the requisite authorities, the business community, and citizens must be more supportive. These were some of the views expressed by prominent Guyanese track star Alicia Fortune in an exclusive interview with Hgp Sport earlier on Thursday. The still competing Fortune, who is just back from the Senior World Games in Canada where she copped 3 medals, said the preparation of local athletes for overseas tournaments is far behind when compared to other countries. Fortune pointed to the fact that even without the best of preparation and support, local athletes have been achieving medals at overseas engagements against countries who are fully equipped. She believes that this in itself is very telling.
I want Guyanese to know that it takes more than just being sponsored to go to these championships. It takes preparation, it takes investment, and I will always say this is not to like throw stone at nobody, but when you go there and you see all the other countries, they have the massage therapy, they have the chiropractor, they have the doctor right there, they have the nutritionist there to assist them. Now, before they go to warm up, they will see, the doctor will check them, check the eyes and stuff like that, and then the massage therapy is going to massage them. They go on warm up. By then they finish warm up, they come back on the table. The chiropractor would loosen up all the bones, all the hip and everything. And then they go out on the field. When they come back in, they're back on the table to the chiropractor and the therapy. That is preparing their muscle for next day. And next day when they come, they have it. How could we able to defeat people like those? And I'm saying we are no different to the world Guyanese has raw talent athletes who go out there and done it with almost no kind of help or assistance in the sport.
For years now, athletes who qualify for overseas engagements have encountered challenges in acquiring monies just to get to the championships. The track star and bodybuilder from the community of Better for Acting on the east coast of Demerara is calling for greater investments to be made in local sport, reminding that it is a fundamental prerequisite for growth and improvement.
If we should able to understand sport and invest in sports and I just don't want to say track and field, but sports in general, because many people will know that I'm not only in track and field, but I also in other sport. And if we could invest in our people, we can do well.
While synthetic tracks are scheduled to be constructed and commissioned in Linden and Berbice by the end of this year, Fortune believes one is also needed in Georgetown. Also of urgent need, according to her, is a sports policy that would address the many issues being faced by local athletes.
These are things we need to understand, that it need investment. We are not going to go, we have to invest in our athletes. And we need a policy. I'm going to say it again. We need a policy, a sports policy, so that we can move forward in sport. We have the talents. But we are not, it's like anybody, my grandfather would say, if you have a talent and you don't use it, you're going to lose it.
Jaden Samuels, Hgp Sport. Let's turn our attention to some youth football. Despite back-to-back wins, the Guyana Under-15 team bows out of the 2019 CONCACAF Boys Championship in Florida. Here are the details in this Stanford Howard report.
The Guyana Under-15 team continues to shine in the Sunshine State of Florida. After losing to Nicaragua 3-0 in their first match, the Golden Cubs came back from that heavy loss to upset the Bahamas with a 5-1 win. On Thursday, the homeboys continue with their winning ways to make their second win in a row when they faced the Cayman Islands, where they were made to work hard before they finally got a breakthrough, the defense of Cayman Islands, when number 7 Samuel Garnett snuck one through the gates in the 41st minute to hand Guyana the lead going into the second half. It was the Guyanese boys who seemed aggressive and rejuvenated in the second half of the game. It just took the home side on the 20 minutes to register their next goal. This time it came off the boot of their skipper, Ranjan Ramdial, to give the 2-0 advantage as they defended their net to leave the Cayman Island boys scoreless. Despite the 2 wins, Guyana didn't make it to the semi-finals because of the division they were placed in, which only sees the group winners advancing to the next round. Nicaragua beat out the locals by 1 point in this regard. For Hgp Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
Some news just in. Guyana will play the winner of Group G after placing second in Group E. More youth football, a helmet trick from Grove High Tech Rashid Evans and a hat trick from Romeo Bradford of Diamond United were the highlights of the latest round of action in the Guyana Football Federation Namilco Thunderbolt Flower Power Under-17 League played at the GFF facility Providence, East Bank, Demerara. The details in this report.
Evan exploits led Grove High Tech to a comfortable 6-0 win over Swan Football Club. He found the back of the net in the 12th, 19th, 39th and 47th minute. Tucking in one apiece were Jamal Tom in the 23rd and Orwin Hunt in the 45th minute. Meanwhile, Friendship All-Stars needled Soesdijk All-Stars thanks to Marlon Day's strike in the 34th minute. Goals from Anthony Eiffel in the 8th minute and Ryan Roberts in the 38th were good enough to deliver 4 points for Agricola Red Triangle over Tomeri Panthers Sports Club B, which got their consolation goal from Akel Grant Stewart in the 56th minute. Samata Point, Caneville and Diamond United battled to a mouth-watering 4-4 draw. Samata Point scored through Dassel Garwe, who was on the score sheet twice in the 13th and 74th minute, with one each of the boots of Sean Mosley in the 41st and Jaden Forth 1 minute later. Matches will continue this weekend at the same venue with double headers on Saturday and Sunday. Tomeri Panthers A will open against Swan Football Club from 13 hours on Saturday, with the second match between Mocha Champs and Tomeri Panthers B from 15 hours. On Sunday at the same time, Soesdijk Falcons will come up against Grove High Tech, followed by a clash between Agricola Red Triangle and Samata Point, Kinville. Jaden Samuels, Hgp Sport.
And finally, in sport this evening, women's volleyball action is on this Sunday at the National Gymnasium. The National Sports Commission and the Guyana Volleyball Federation will be sponsoring a one-day female festival scheduled for Saturday, August 10, 2019 at the National Gymnasium. This program is part of the National Sports Commission remembering past presidents of Guyana. This weekend's festival is remembering the first executive president of Guyana, Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. That concludes our cast for this evening. I'm Jaden Samuels reminding you, as always, say yes to sport, yes to life, and no to drugs. Goodbye.